What's up guys, Dan, DD Speed Chop here. You know what really pisses me off? Fuel injection. It doesn't even make sense. Why would anybody want fuel injection? And now you're trying to tell me that injectors, fuel rails, a bunch of wiring, some super fancy sophisticated calculator, and some guy who knows how to do what they're doing is better than just plopping on a carburetor, one fuel line, no wires? Yeah, I didn't think so. Danny! Where's my sandwich? You wanna know what this is right here? That's the diddler. I can do anything with this thing. I can use it as a chisel, I can pry things with it, I can tune carburetors with it. It's a multi-purpose Dan Diddler tool right there. That's your Dan Tech tip of the day, Dan Diddler right there. And not only can you tune your fuel system with this thing, you can turn the diddler spark plug spinny majiggy thing as well while you're in there. And this is all I need to tune my Tri-5 Chevy, so just wanna let you know, carburetors are the best. And this is my buddy Kyle's car right here. Look at all this nonsense in here. Like, look at all these wires back here, stupid. All these fuel injectors right here, stupid. The funny part is he has an intake manifold that you could just bolt a carburetor to. So all this nonsense right here doesn't even make sense. Turbo, stupid, would never use that. Like, Kyle doesn't know that my father and his father before him and his father before him, we all relied on big block power. These kids these days, they just don't understand it. All you need is a big block, that Holley double pumper, the camel heads, that big 3/4 race camshaft, open headers, and we were wheeling pop cans on the street. So somebody really needed to come to Kyle's garage, tell him that this is stupid and that's stupid, and that everybody knows the Tri-5s are the best. 4 doors doesn't matter, I'll make them 2 doors. Bodywork doesn't matter, I'll slap that baby on there. Trim-clad paint doesn't matter, 30 bucks, got that painted. Danny, you still playing Fortnite? Bye. I couldn't see before, but now I can see. The vision is clear, I know exactly what I need to do, I know exactly how to execute it. It's just my procrastination is not really helping me with all this. In my mind right now, the plan, finish this thing real quick, not much left to do on this, get Gina's car over here, finish that real quick, get the Formula card over here, and finish that and the stick shift Hemi at the same time. But for this unit, what we gotta do is we gotta brace the turbo because the whole turbo kit kind of wiggly here. I just want to put a brace on it. It just gives me that extra insurance. Build a bar that goes down around the bottom of the intercooler so we can brace the intercooler and the bumper. That's 2 things. I gotta put a back pressure sensor in the turbo just so we can get the turbo data for testing turbos, because obviously we own a turbo company, True North Turbos over here, so the more testing and data we can get, the better the turbos get. We're already like a couple revisions into this 88103 and it's gotten better and better and better, and now we've got an S400 turbo making like 1550 wheel. Yep. I've created the list. The list is final. Frig off, Randy.
Hey, Randy.
Oh my God, Kyle, what is that cool thing you got there? It's got like a hole and a thing and a hole in it. Well, that's like a back pressure damper. So you put steel wool in this side and then you close it up and then you... Nick, I didn't mean to do that. I was fumbling with one hand. He's going to be mad at me for that. But this helps dampen the pulses from the exhaust when you're measuring exhaust back pressure, and it's going to give you a more accurate reading. So you put your sensor in one of these sides right here, put steel wool in the middle, and now you read your back pressure from anywhere between the heads and the turbo, and it should give you a reading. And that's just how we get turbo data. Beep boop beep, data driven, rerunning 7s. I still can't believe you ran 7s, man, that's crazy. Alrighty, we want to put it down here. Of course, I dropped the whole thing. I'm an idiot sometimes. Idiot Kyle. There you go, mounted right there on the frame. Perfect. And then we're gonna drill and tap somewhere, either the turbo housing or the manifold down here, one of the two. And we gotta run a, almost like a brake line from there into the bottom of the canister now. So what you do is, to make it easy, you get yourself some of these 1/8 MPT to brake line adapters, and then you just use solid brake line to feed your back pressure. Obviously. In my soul, I don't want to be doing this right now. You know what I want to be doing? Hemi stuff. But I know there's an order of operations. I've got to follow it. Procedures. Fill out my field level hazard assessment. Be safe in the shop. Don't pound out my toes and my fingers because I've done that before. I just want to go racing, man. More than anything, I just want to go racing. Planet bullshit, I tell you. Planet bullshit. So drilling stainless sucks, like a lot, but if we can manage to drill like right here, I'm gonna do that. Just because it would be like out of the way and neat. So, I'm You know, first problem is I can't even get the drill in there. Second problem is I'm probably not going to be able to drill that. Cheap Canadian Tire drill bits can't drill worth a shit. Lost that forever. I honestly don't even know where that went, but I ordered some Cobalt drill bits. They'll get here tomorrow, so we can drill that out tomorrow, finish that part. Anyways, I did notice out of the side of the car here a transmission leak. Probably should address that. Stop focusing on my finger. That's not the important part. Yeah. Just for the record, I'm living proof that any idiot can eventually build like a 1300 horsepower car. If you were wondering. You probably weren't wondering, but relatable, right? Looking like it's our dump valve. So I'm just gonna rip that thing out. We didn't use it. It wasn't wired in anyways, you can see. So I'm just gonna rip that out and then we can just bypass that piece. I got a funny feeling that this thing probably wouldn't have worked properly even if it was wired in. Just a weird feeling I got. Anyways, that's out. Wasn't using it anyways. It's probably why it was leaking. It's still a good car though. Still a good car. It's a good beep beep. Damn good Amazon bits. Yeah. For the record, if I go to the hardware store right now and I want to buy a 1/8 drill bit, it's going to cost me 10 bucks. 10 Cobalt 1/8 drill bits though, 12 bucks. All right, let's try this again. You can only fail 2 times before the car gods are like, yeah, sorry man, don't work on cars anymore. Honestly, I can't even tell if it's doing something, so I'm just gonna keep going. This is highly annoying. I've had enough of this. I tried to drill that thing twice. It just ain't drilling. It's stainless steel, good stainless steel, plus it's been hardened because I welded on it twice. So I'm just gonna drill and tap the housing back here. And if I put a different turbo on, I'm just gonna have to drill and tap that housing too. And then in the land of YouTube, the narrator comes on and explains how Kyle was cursing his head off because he couldn't drill through stainless with cheap Amazon drill bits. Drill the heck out of cast though, yeah! Kyle, that exhaust is just on there with one V-band clamp. If you just took that off and got the exhaust out of the way, there would be so much more room to work down there. Why'd that sound like a Jetsons car? Oh wow, that's so much easier, Kyle. Just throw it on the floor, it doesn't matter. Man, I need some of those fancy thingamajiggers you put on the end of taps that you can just use ratchets on, because right now I'm using a thumb wrench, and I feel like a doofus. Yeah, the shavings are going inside. There's a little tiny bit of them, I'm sure. It's okay. They'll get blowed out on the 2-step. Frickin' steel wool was only like $2. Crazy. I'm gonna build my car with steel wool instead. That's cheap, bro. Jeez. Stainless will not rust. Now all we gotta do is bust up some of the sticky icky and put it in our thing and then put the cap back on. You think my scissor will cut this stainless stuff? Yep. There, we only need a little ball like that to just like diffuse some of the pulses and we'll get a good reading. Why do I always do this? I put things in a place that I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna remember where that is, and then I try and find it and I have no idea where they are. I'm specifically looking for my back pressure sensor because it was a special sensor. It's not just a normal 100 PSI sensor. It's like liquid filled or something, so it's like betterer for back pressures, and I lost it. I'm gonna wave my bird around and see if it's like the thing that finds gold. Those little rods. Yeah, I shouldn't have said little there. Those big rods. Guess we're just using... Man, that's like the 4th thing I dropped today. I guess we're just using a normal 100 PSI sensor till we can find the right one. No big deal. Now you're gonna take your master Ric Flair tool, and you're definitely 100% gonna wanna make your flares before you put the fittings on, just so you get extra practice. And this isn't a super crucial line because it's not holding any brake pressure or anything, and a little tiny exhaust leak isn't gonna affect much. Just wing it. Who cares if you're a little bit drunk? I mean, I don't drink, but you guys might be drunk, and you might be watching this being like, yeah, I'm drunk. I'm just letting you know, it's okay. Also, shout out Jimmy Dale, AKA Texas Kyle Williams, for bringing home that dub. Kicking ass. Seen that. I totally made my first one without a fitting, just because I knew that I could like put a fitting on it after. I put a nice loop-de-loop in it, because it looks nice, and for vibration and stuff. Mint. So it just comes out of the turbine right here, does a little loop-de-loop into there, and then 90 degrees up to our back pressure sensor. And then that wire ties in real nicely. I can tuck that up there. Clean. There's only one real way to test this now, right? You're thinking what I'm thinking? Two-step check! My neighbors probably hate me. You can see houses right here, but like, these are necessary things that I need to do before the track, so ease what it is. Our back pressure sensor is reading. That's the main thing. It's gonna give us some valuable data. Nick's gonna like that one. And then also we have boost pressure up here. So 5 pounds on the boost, 5 pounds on the back pressure. However, it was a little bit jaggedy. As you can see, that purple line right there is the back pressure line. So maybe when I find my other sensor, it'll be better for this. All right, beep beep in the air. The intercooler is like a little bit flimsy, and I believe the bumper was pushing in on the bottom of the intercooler, so it kind of bent my brackets in just a little bit. What I want to do is be able to build a bar that goes from like here, down, and under, and then back up to the other side, weld that in place, and then I can use the bottom 2 mounts here on the intercooler, right there, to mount to that bar, and then I can also use these mounts to mount to the bumper because it'll all be supported as one. So we got a bust out Pac-Man over here, the Rogue Fab bender, and get some 1-inch going. 2 fingers. Freaking bumper-root my powder coating here too, jerk. Give me my dandiddler here. Look at that, good for something else too. Just grab a hunk of your finest metal and start sanding. 100% DD Speed Shop's taking this photo right here, and he's making this a wiener, and he's sending it to me on Instagram. 100%. I'm just trying to give the paint something to stick to. This new air compressor has made this so much easier for bending. Now this thing should fit like that. Perfect. All right, I somehow messed this up. It's 3 inches short. I think I was supposed to bend on this line. I was supposed to bend on this line and not this line. There's supposed to be a line in the middle here and it's not there. So I don't even know what happened, to be honest. But all I gotta do now is split this down the middle, add a 3-inch piece to the middle. That's not what I planned on. Math doesn't math sometimes in my head. And that's all right. But like I said, there should have been a mark in the middle of that radius of the bend. I don't know why there wasn't. It's just like, man, give me a break. Psych, shit's hard. So a thin piece of 075 and this little extension piece, that one's gonna fit in there. So this one's gonna fit in here with a little bit of hammering. That should help it keep it all straight. Now, should be able to put it on the bench. Perfect. A little oopsie doopsie right there, it's gonna be fine. This is like super thick wall tubing, like 120 wall. Gonna be plenty of strength there. It's just gonna look a little dumb. Once you paint it, you won't even know. If I weld that, then grind it, and then paint it, you won't even know that that was there. But you will know because you watched the video. And I ain't allowed to have any witnesses. Yeah, That'll do. Made an oopsie, fixed an oopsie. No big deal. Now we just gotta cut it off at the height we want on both sides, notch it, and weld it in place. Got Rogue Fab Notcher too, baby. This thing's deadly. Now technically this bar should fit right in this little gap that we built. Just like that. Exactly how I wanted it to. And now this bar is the lowest thing down here, which is also nice. Here's the little technique I like to call hope for the best. We're gonna try and ratchet strap this into place so I can actually weld it, because there's no way that I can hold this in place and weld it with a TIG welder myself. MIG would be cool, but MIG be ugly at the same time. I'm not gonna lower my standards to have MIG welds. All right, we're only about 19 miles off so far. Okay, that's basically what we're going for here. You can see that it like just is the perfect height, that if we want to mount a tab right here and then weld it right into that bar, mint. And that's going to keep the intercooler from doing this. Originally I thought the charge piping would keep it in place, but because I put rubber ends on both sides, it kind of a little bit flexy. So this is going to help with the intercooler. It's also going to help give us something to brace the bumper to. So I'm just gonna pull this thing off real quick. It's gonna make it easier to weld all the way around, and then I'm gonna put the camera right here, time lapse it, and show you just how easy it is to make a modification like this. Yeah, my favorite thing ever, adding more weight to the front of the car. But at least it's serving the purpose that we wanted. That thing is not moving. So that's gonna brace our bumper, brace our intercooler. I feel much better. Add some tabs to this now and then possibly paint it. One tab welded on. Funny thing is, I went to Crappy Tire to get some M8 bolts and some aluminum for when I do the bumper. Turns out I'm just so stuck in M6 bolt territory that like bought M6 by accident. Stupid. Look at that. Look at that, baby. KFC. KFC! Anyways, look at this thing. The bolts are a bit too long, so they're not even tight right now, but it's not going anywhere. I'll pull that off and paint that after. Don't need to do that on camera. But tomorrow I'll be out here. I'm gonna start fiberglassing the bumper, figuring out a way to brace it somehow to make it good. And then if I get this done, we'll take this over to the other garage and we'll go get Gina's car. And we'll get Gina to come do that with us. We still gotta pick up the Hellcat too. And I'm so excited to start on my Hemi Fox again. So there's a lot of things coming up. Spring is in the air. We've got a lot of events planned that we want to attend. So I'm gonna have to work double time in the garage if I want to attend a lot of these events because the cars have to be in tip-top shape. Thompson Motorsports, if you're listening, I really want to give this 5.3 to you guys. This one that's in the car right now has been super stout and I love it and I appreciate the hospitality from you guys. I'd really like to get that 5.3 built so we have a spare engine just in case anything happens this season. We're going to be pushing this engine sometimes when it's on the bigger turbo. The smaller turbo, not so much. But I'd like to have a backup engine if we want to hit all these races. I'd love to have a spare motor just in case so there's no huge downtime. Because I know how long it takes to get motors done. And if we have to wait a little bit to get this one back, but have this one in the car, a spare motor, super good idea. So I'll be out here tomorrow trying to fiberglass this thing. I love you guys. Peace easy. Get that V.